The first few weeks of starting the business were quite a scary time, but also a very exciting time.
Actually setting your own business up is a great thrill. It's a challenge, but it's a source of great satisfaction.
I've always been a very ambitious individual, and once my first Latasca restaurant was fully established, I quickly turned my thoughts to growth, expansion and rollout, and to take the business to a size where I could actually sell it, which is obviously what happened 8 years later.
You move into an empty office and you have to start from scratch and try and follow a plan. You know, we only had a small team then, so it's all hands to the pump.
To own your own business is very liberating, it's very motivational, and it's what I've been striving for a long time, and I would certainly recommend it to anybody.
I found that when I worked for large organisations, they were very political, it was very difficult. I was a very ambitious young individual, always wanted to further my career, to gain promotion, to earn more money, to improve my personal circumstances. And I quite often came up against a number of barriers in that process. And it was always very frustrating for me when I felt I was really giving a lot to the business and wasn't really getting much back.
The industry that we work in is very, very competitive indeed, and to make a success of this as a start-up, we have to have very, very strong relations with our core suppliers, which we do, and we have to have a very clear and very focused business model in respect of what we're trying to achieve, and we have both of those things. And after a relatively short period of time, it's already proving that we have a good business model in eCorrugated, which is going from strength to strength.
The business has grown really rapidly, which is coming up to our year anniversary, and in that year we've gone from a completely fresh business, new brand no one had heard of, to now we're turning over well over £100,000 a month.
I think people who are successful in running their own business are self-motivated, able to stand on their own 2 feet, probably good influencers rather than needing hierarchical power to influence. And that's me, I think. I fit into those criteria. And I love the sense of actually having something that's mine, that makes me proud, if you like, yeah? And of course avoids the frustration of corporate life.
Whilst I'm quite lucky over the last 4 years to have, you know, some autonomy to my roles, there's nothing quite like having your own team and your own people who you can make decisions for yourself. You know, you're not accountable to anyone, so you can kind of, you know, make the most of every situation.
I think the corporate world doesn't allow many people to exploit those desires, entrepreneurial inner feelings that people like myself have, and ultimately after 20 years working in the corporate world, I decided I had to break out and had to try and make a business which I felt could be successful with the skills and the experiences that I had gathered over 20 years.
I guess the good thing with us and our experience is we managed to secure orders quite quickly. We've done really well in our first 12 months.
When you're in an employee situation, you think you're a very diligent employee and that you execute your duties to the best of your ability. But when you then begin to work for yourself and run your own business, you find that you reach a whole new level that you didn't realise existed.
I actually didn't think starting up on our own was a great risk. We knew the market, we knew we were good at what we do, and actually corporate life itself is full of risks.